The Dynasty Podcast is a free-flowing conversation that occasionally touches on mature subjects. You were warned. The Dynasty Podcast is brought to you by Tom Berkowitz Trucking. When it comes to rubbish removal and eco-friendly recycling, Tom Berkowitz Trucking makes it simple. Don't be a dick. Tom Berkowitz Trucking, servicing all of Riverdale since 1981.
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. It's time to meet the assholes on the Dynasty tonight. That's right. It's time to put on makeup. It's time to dress up right. It's time to raise the curtain on the Dynasty tonight. Why do we always come here? I guess we'll never know. It's like some kind of torture to have to watch the show. And now let's get things started. Why don't you get things started? It's time to get things started on the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, sexuational. This is what we call the Dynasty Podcast.
And now, coming to you live from Riverdale Studios, your host, the one, the only, Eric Costanza!
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to a Draft Day Analysis Special Edition, episode number 2 of the Tom Berkowitz Trucking Dynasty Podcast. I am Commissioner Scooper here at Riverdale Studios, and I am joined with Bubba, who is suffering from a common condition known as the post-draft day blues. Bubba, are you feeling any better today?
You know what, Eric? I looked forward to that day for the last 6 months or so, and I'm a little upset that it's over, but I'm excited to see how this season pans out. I'm really excited about my team this year.
Yes, I hear you. It's something we looked forward to for so long, and then finally it's here, and then it's over before you know it, and then it's like, what the hell do we do now?
Yeah, I agree.
Here's what we're doing now. We're doing the goddamn podcast.
Absolutely.
And on the show today, Bub and I are going to talk about the draft, hence the Draft Analysis Special Edition. Who we think had a great draft, who we think had maybe not so great of a draft, who we think maybe were some reaches, who we think maybe got some good value picks, and maybe we'll have maybe a early edition kind of prediction of who we think is going to get the draft day draft pick of the year for this season. Did I cover everything, Bubba?
Yep.
Great. Then we'll go ahead and we'll look ahead to week 1, the week 1 matchups. We'll review some of those key matchups, and then we'll have another interactive segment, Bob.
Yeah. Well, are we getting Rengeyer back? Because if we don't, you can't really top him, can you?
Yeah, we're not. Unfortunately, we are not getting Rengeyer back. I think that one time was just too good to be true, and I don't know if we're going to do that again.
Yeah.
But
I guess you're right.
Yeah. But it is going to be tough to top that interview. But I think we're going to be able to do it. And the reason I say that, Bob, is because on the show later here today, we will be welcoming CBS fantasy expert Jamie Eisenberg.
Jamie Eisenberg?
Jamie Eisenberg.
Of CBS.
The
expert.
The fantasy football expert. Did you know that he's first cousins with Jesse Eisenberg? The actor?
Did not know that.
He is.
Fun fact of the day.
A-okay, Bubba. A-okay.
By the way, I'm real excited for that.
I can tell you're excited.
I am excited.
You're a fan of Jamie Eisenberg?
I'm a huge. I've mentioned this to a couple of people. I probably spent 12 hours a day looking up fantasy stats this summer, and so I read a lot of Eisenberg and Richard this year.
Yeah, Dave Richard, he's a friend of the show. He wasn't able to be on last year, but he did send some email responses. But Jamie Eisenberg will be joining us later today. We'll be talking to him about the CBS.Sportsline website that we all have grown to love So there you go. So here's what we're going to do now. We are going to go ahead and let's talk about the draft, Bob.
This one that just happened?
Yeah, the draft that just happened a few days ago.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
We don't have we're kind of entering a new segment. Last show it worked out gloriously to kind of on the spot have us do a little jingle. More you than me, but you know what? Let's do it again. Draft day analysis jingle. Hit it.
Dun da 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 da. Boom 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 da 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 da. Boom boom boom. This is the draft day analysis jingle. Analysis jingle. Oh yeah.
That was good.
I sounded great. You were good. I like the backup singing.
Yeah.
That was good too. But
no, it's all you, Bub. It really is.
I think we nailed that one.
We did again. And speaking of nailing things, you and I, Bub, we
nailed each other.
Well, yeah, we did. Well, that's common. Like I think everyone is fully aware of that.
Sorry,
that's okay.
Sorry.
But the other thing we nailed, besides each other's assholes, is our mock draft.
We actually did fairly well. I was surprised.
58.3% accuracy
Which
rating.
doesn't necessarily sound like a lot, but if you think about it, it sounds better. I think 7 out of 12 sounds a lot better.
7 out of 12 we nailed. That's pretty. I'm impressed.
And even after I think picks 2 and 3 screwed some stuff up, and I thought out the window.
Yes.
And then everything else kept falling into place, and I thought we did pretty good.
I thought we did too. It was pretty impressive. The other thing was about the draft. I think we all kind of really kind of saw it happening, but with no guards and no Glenn, I mean, it was going by pretty quick.
I think that first round literally lasted less than a minute.
It was rapid fire.
People ran up to the draft board.
Bub, did you have the game Crossfire when you were a child?
I did.
And did you? I assume you probably played it many times with Zachary.
Well, more so with one of my best friends. I don't know if Zach and I played. I think he was too scared of my Crossfire prowess.
I don't blame you. Well, I also had that game, and that round 2 or the first round of the draft reminded me of Crossfire. Just craziness going on all over the place.
Pinball, just boom, 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 bing, 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 bing.
I was flustered, and I think I may have peed myself a little bit, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. And the rest of the draft really did, fly by.
There was no lull in the draft whatsoever.
Right. It was a great draft. And then, but how did you think the war room was set up? I mean, I pretty much have it down pat as far as, how to set things up. I try to upgrade things a little bit each year. How was the atmosphere for you?
I thought it was great. It looked great as always. Pretty similar to last year.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I did notice, and I don't even know if you can change this,
Mm-hmm.
The picks, rounds 9 through 16 were a little low on the wall, and so I was sitting in the back, and it was a little difficult to see. I don't know if we can rectify that at all, but that's just one thing I think maybe we can think about for next year.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure how to fix it, but by all means, if you're listening to this, if you have any ideas, please let me and or Bub know. Not exactly sure, what to do. I tried to get that, the rounds 1 through 8 or whatnot as high as I could up on the wall, and then, obviously the other rounds were underneath it. So
I mean, I'm just don't think that's.
We are trying to make things
just
perfect.
Constructive criticism.
I will take it.
Not trying to yell at you.
No, I don't take it that way at all, Bubba. At all.
Okay, good.
The other thing that I think we kind of noticed was tight ends were just kind of flying off the board.
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wait, Zach just tried to throw something at me for talking about tight ends.
Yeah, Zach made his feelings known. Right around round 10, 11, he kind of stood up and
he was angry.
He was very angry.
He was an angry elf.
He was waiting on tight end as a good, maybe possibly a good strategy considering how deep tight end was, and it got to the point where guys were drafting their second, third tight end before he could pick.
He was not happy.
It was very interesting, very interesting. And then, of course, it was always good to have good old Jimmy Berkowitz show up to the post-draft party.
First sponsor to be physically there in human form.
Of course, it helps that he is the only sponsor that actually knows what he's sponsoring.
That's also true.
But we won't go there.
But it was great. I was glad he was there.
It was good to meet him and see him.
A lot of fun.
So, Bub, let's go ahead and kind of dip into the actual draft. I mean, who do you think really stood out to you as having, one of the really, really good drafts?
Well, I'll tell you what, Eric. Obviously,